Rini?
Done, sir.
Okay, good.
Fine, ma'am. Fine, ma'am. Good afternoon. Good
Very
afternoon, sir.
well.
Good afternoon,
Very good
ma'am.
afternoon.
Good
Thank you
ma'am.
for
Good
joining.
afternoon.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You are giving this opportunity to us.
I
for
am
this
I am
meeting.
really touched by your promptness to join this, and trust me, getting associated with a platform like by a platform like Bloom, you'll be amazed to see the kind of work that this foundation does today. So now, am I allowed to record?
Hold on. Shipra, just check if you are getting an option to record on your computer. Just check.
I am.
Wonderful. Go ahead, do it. So, hello, namaste, namaskar, good afternoon, good morning, or maybe even good evening, in whichever part of the world you are joining us from. My name is Deepakar Khemani, and I am one of the co-founders of Bloom. Along with my two other co-founders, Abhijit Sansgiri and our CEO Payal Irani, it gives me great pleasure to invite and welcome all of you to this 253rd non-stop Sunday Bloom Talk Show. Exactly 253 weeks ago on a Sunday, during the lockdown COVID times, we started the Sunday Bloom Talk Show, not knowing that it will go on hitting these milestones of 50 and 100 and 150 and 200, and just 3 weeks back we celebrated our 250th episode. A few of us tasted fire, a few of us felt fire under our feet, but that's an experience that all of us will remember. Of course, you can see that book shining at the background of Shipra, there. So that was the book which was unveiled, and Shipra became a published co-author. And we take immense pleasure inviting her to be the guest on the 253rd Sunday Bloom Talk Show. And we will be speaking on her favorite topic, which is education. And today we are talking about how we can imagine or reimagine what education is. Shipra, otherwise I would normally read out a small intro of yours and, then welcome you. But instead of doing that, tell us about yourself. Instead of me reading out a small intro, please tell us about why you do what you do, what made you do what you are doing, and how you, by doing that little thing of yours, are trying to help change people's lives. Over to you, Shipra.
Thank you, Deepak sir. Thank you. First of all, a very, very warm welcome to all of you, and a heart full of gratitude to the Bloom world for making sure that this interaction happens. Coming to me, I used to call myself an educator only till around 6 months ago, till the summit happened. After that, I realized I'm more than an educator, and so I started calling myself the educatalist. Now, what this word means to you, or especially me, it's not just a title per se. It's about all those voids that I feel are echoing the education system, not just in the captive spaces of schools. It's about the domain between a parent and a student, between a teacher and a student, between that lapse that happens from a college to a corporate. So, wherever I found those things, I found that I can catalyze the process. And so I started calling myself the educatalist. Yes, Deepak sir. What else do you want to know about me?
So, just a little bit of your, your intro, which I have in front of me. It says you are a passionate educator and change maker and storyteller and leadership mentor. How does one combine to have all these four qualities? You are either a storyteller, or you are an educator, or you are a leadership mentor. How does this happen?
Mm.
The common thread which will combine all of that action items that you just read is intention. An intention to bring a change in the system around you.
Mm.
And the best part that I feel humbled and proud to share in front of my audience today is being a part of the system. It's very easy to
Yeah.
sit outside the system and then keep blaming it, or keep
Yeah.
questioning
Yeah.
the system,
Yes.
xyz, this, that. So once you set an example in front of people that okay, this is how things are channelized,
Yeah.
and then they start realizing that if she can do it,
Yeah.
I can surely do it.
Yeah.
This is where my ideology came from.
Yeah.
So
So we are,
storytelling forms a
yeah.
backbone indeed.
Yeah. 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 Please continue.
Storytelling per se is like, you can say that it's like falling in love. So you don't forget those times when you actually
Yeah.
fall in love for the first time.
Yeah.
That memory always anchor your mind.
Yeah.
So I feel that why not take such a beautiful example
Yeah.
and amalgamate that experience and all the experiences that you have in your life,
Yeah.
be it professional or personal.
Yeah. Wonderful, and having spent almost 2 decades in education, why do you feel that education needs to be reimagined? Or what is wrong with the current education system that needs change and fast?
Will you allow me to ask something?
Yes?
Use chat, all of you.
Yeah.
Okay, use the chat and answer
Yeah.
that one thing that you wanted your school to teach you.
Yeah.
If you want to unmute and talk, yes you can, but I think we have 26 in the meeting. So personal finance, yes, you are right, sir, that's your core. Oh my god, you just feel for it. Coming out of comfort zones, storytelling and speaking, yes, you're right there. Feel free to share, all of you. Just let your inhibitions drop today and put it on the chat and let me see.
Mm.
Non differentiations. Yeah, Sebastian, very happy to have you, dear. Look at the diversity that you will have on the chat today, and that will be the answer to our question. The
Yeah.
importance of money in life. Yeah, good to hear you, Eric. All of you coming out of comfort zone, speaking. Yes, stopping comparisons, spirituality. It's I am amazed. I didn't even think of this kind of array of topics that you really miss that, your school should have. Not tagging. Yes, practical experiences. Absolutely true. So, Deepak ji,
Yes.
you'll find that even before I start speaking, this will continue now because I've just touched that pain point in everybody's life. So, being a professional speaker, being a Toastmaster, trust me, I meet n number of people who will start their speech by saying, "काश हमें ये स्कूल में सिखा दिया होता." Whenever I go to any meet, any kind of a gathering, and any meet which is very purposeful, and that touches my heart like anything. That what are we doing? This is my 23rd year of teaching. What are we up to? Content is the same. I am a pass out of CBSE board. I'm still associated with CBSE board. I'm teaching the same NCRT textbooks which I have learned. In fact, a lot of portion is being cut down today. You know that, Deepak ji? Then what are we doing beyond the textbooks? When are we going to stop worshipping the textbooks? Is where that I think is a challenge. Seeking permission all the time. So I feel that education system today, it's not broken. It was born broken.
Oh,
Because if you just think about your classrooms, okay, we used to have statements from our teachers saying that okay, take permission to stand, go out, come in, interrupt, take permission. I have one big question today. I have my fraternity here. I have many teachers who've joined today, and I'm glad many of my friends joined today, a question to them is, are we born only to take permissions around our life? We are born to question so that we create solutions to problems.
Hmm.
For that, it is okay if the child hunts for a problem. Solution तभी मिलेगा ना जब प्रॉब्लम मिले ढूंढेंगे.
Hmm. Yeah.
प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व क्रिएट करने करने के लिए, सॉल्विंग क्रिएट करने के लिए, यू नीड टू, टूथपेस्ट में से पेस्ट एक्स्ट्रा निकल गया तो वापस कैसे जाएगा,
Hmm.
इज अ प्रॉब्लम.
Yeah.
If I being a science teacher will create something like that in my child's mind, why, how will it go, how, then they will start thinking. So that is a challenge where we are talking about the stereotypical patterns of creating obedient community.
Hmm.
Obedience is fine, but when are we going to question?
Tell us the difference between obedience and discipline.
Obedience and disobedience.
Discipline.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Obedience and discipline. Obedience will have the other person, will give power to the other person.
Okay.
Discipline is more insightful. It comes from within. For example, if a child is hearing me today, I think few of my students also must be there in the meeting. Okay? So discipline is something that you follow even when nobody is watching you.
Okay.
So self awareness. What am I doing? Am I doing justice to my role? If I am a student, am I giving justice to what I'm doing?
Yeah.
This is for me. This is the difference.
Wonderful. You know,
Your
all of
voice is
us.
a little feeble now. I don't know how.
Okay. So let me just check and then we will.
How about now?
Yes, it's much better.
Wonderful. Let's go with this now. Okay. So, we've had a few educators who've graced our platform over the past 250 plus weeks. And the one common thread is that the whole system needs reimagination, whole system needs an overhaul. But my counter to that is this, you know, all of us sitting in the room came out of that same system which we say that needs to reimagine, and we all are doing pretty well for ourselves. Some of us are teachers, some of us are doctors, some of us are engineers, scientists, and then we are sending spacecrafts to space and whatnot. So is it really that the system is outdated, or the system has not adapted to itself, or is it something else?
Honestly, Deepak ji, I was expecting this question because we all, yes, we are doing pretty well. But if you analyze in your moments of solace,
Yeah.
these are the people, or we are those people who actually have questions beyond the normal.
Hmm.
Just imagine your classroom. You must be having those pop-ups on and off. कभी कभी उसके लिए आपको डांट भी पड़ी होगी. You broke out of that stereotype and came out. And trust me, all
Yes.
those who are doing pretty well today
Yeah.
have questioned the system at one go,
Hmm.
knowingly
Hmm.
or unknowingly.
Yeah.
बाकी सब ट्रस्ट मी वो वही शेल में रह गए हैं.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reimagining is the need of the hour.
Yes. So, we still have something called an NEP, which is on the way, it's being implemented and it will get implemented. How different is the NEP from the existing system? And do you think it will work?
It'll take some time to work.
Okay.
It'll
Okay.
take some time to get implemented.
Yeah.
Today, schools are working very hard to focus on skills
Yes.
more than the books,
Yeah.
more than the content. So, skill
Yes.
is what make you stand on your own.
Yes.
Theory will not, but it
Yeah.
will take its own sweet time. So,
Yeah.
the responsibility of an educator is way
Yeah.
beyond the the task sheets, way
Yeah.
beyond the assignments which are permitted to us or allowed to us, or way beyond the syllabus, because we
Yeah.
have to integrate things before NEP
Hmm.
gets completely implemented.
Yeah.
क्योंकि ये बच्चे तो चले जाएंगे ना सर, वो
Yes.
बच्चे जो अभी करंट क्लासरूम्स में हैं, then they will have a
Yeah.
question on what did we learn.
Yeah.
And trust me, Deepak ji, if I have parents in this uh, meeting, they'll agree to me. A, a person who's getting, say, for example, 93%, 95%, a child getting marks in 10th standard around that.
Yeah.
I have embraced those children even after 12th standard when they are not able to crack a competitive exam. Then the question is, what did we teach?
Yeah.
Where is it heading?
Yeah.
It is surely because the syllabus is not in complete alignment to
Hmm.
the need of the market.
Okay.
For example, you talk about finance.
Yeah.
We don't know. We were never taught about it.
Never. Never.
It is not in our roots. And
Yeah.
something which is not in our roots, it doesn't come in our reflexes. You have to,
Yes.
break your heads at and after a
Yeah,
particular age. It
Yeah.
doesn't, it will never be a part of your reflex.
Yes.
I want learning to come as a reflex action.
Yeah.
Yeah, you unknowingly become a master of what you are doing.
Hmm.
That is what has to come, I think.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So again, let's carry this discussion ahead. You can have a government which listens to you. You can have a government which gives you autonomy. It gives you a right to, make your own syllabus and take your own exams also. But finally, we need quality teachers. You can have the best syllabus. You can have the most curious students. You can give them the freedom to ask and, question. But what if the teacher isn't up to the mark? Are we having good quality teachers, or how can we have better teachers who can give us that quality of education to those level of students who will go and excel in their lives?
Wonderful question. A very, very beautiful question that has always tingled me, has given me sleepless nights. That how can we raise the bar as far as the teaching is concerned?
Yeah.
I'm happy to share that earlier this was not the case. Now I can see that teachers do have a fire in their belly.
Hmm.
They have realized that in order to face the children of today,
Yeah.
you say the children of modern world,
Yeah.
they have to be upgrading themselves all the time. And
Yes.
it will only come when you set an example.
Yeah.
Children will look up to you. Recently I've heard this. There's a trend in schools where they say that when, wishing teachers is mandatory. And
Hmm.
I feel sorry, I can't even laugh around in that area. Though I, why do we have to tell our children to wish? Small
Yeah.
children, it is okay. You are
Yeah.
guiding them. You are
Yeah.
telling them that, okay, these are manners.
Yes.
When you are talking about teenagers,
Yeah.
it has to come from within. For
Yes.
that, we as teachers have to keep, you know, upskilling ourselves to a level where automatically they see us on a pedestal.
Yes.
That we have seen more life than you, we are on the other side. It
Yeah.
comes naturally. It
Yeah.
has to. For example, in my classrooms, you'll be surprised. Children don't ask for permissions. If they have to go out to the washroom, they'll just get up and go. They'll they'll stay away from, and I have complete trust they are not going to bunk my class. They might call children from outside. Shipra miss ka class hai, chalo, let's not miss it. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, as a trainer, it's been 10 years that I'm teaching. I'm training teachers also. So whatever pops up in the market, for example, NLP was
Yeah.
my thing. Since the
Yeah.
time I've come, we all keep saying proximity is power. And
Yes.
thanks to Bloomworld, PSS, PSAI, Toastmasters, many non-profit organizations who are working in this space beautifully. And I just became that thread which connected my fraternity to your thought processes. So
Yes.
this is how things are changing. You
Yeah.
know, better pay and training is missing. Uh, Ratan sir,
Yeah.
better pay. I'm sorry to say, but uh, this is long lost. Trust me, most of the schools are paying way more than your imagination. Way more than your imagination. They are being paid well. It is about intrapreneurship that is missing.
Yeah.
When what I take as a toolkit when I teach trainers is one pure thing: pay is fine. That is automatically going to come.
Hmm.
We are reporting to somebody, that thought has to go away.
Yeah.
Once you give justice to, you need to have an authority without a designation,
Hmm.
that this is my room.
Yeah.
Mm, this is my domain, and
Yeah.
I am the best person to handle this.
Wonderful.
So what I try my level best to do is to empower teachers to that level,
Yeah.
that nobody, you are not working for appreciation.
Hmm.
And that's where I gave birth to the Educatalyst Academy,
Hmm.
where I cater to four domains: students, teachers, I talk to parents, and now I have latest ventured in corporates too.
Hmm.
Yes.
So, on your last two or three comments, we saw these two thumbs up from Vinita Srivastav and Chetna Gurjar. If both of you are listening to me, if you have a comment or you want to say something, I want you to unmute yourself and say, or comment or ask or reply. Normally, I would leave this towards the end, but I want this to be a little bit more interactive. And since you told me that you have teachers and maybe a few students also, let's make this a little bit more interactive.
Yes,
Vinita or
surely.
Chetna, yeah, if you have something to say,
See,
just please unmute yourself.
this is Brajesh here, Brajesh
Hi,
Srivastava.
Brajesh.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
like to add something. What she's saying,
Please go ahead. Yeah.
yeah. So what she's saying is really, really wonderful. Where people should be self-driven, and
Yeah.
you don't need to be guided about it. And
Okay.
this is wonderful. Matlab, the very thought, and if we are able to inculcate this in the individual or the
Yeah.
child when he's growing up, these
Yeah.
kind of catalysts, if you are able to imbibe in the child, I think
Hmm.
the coming generation, we need teachers like this who, it's not about interaction, it's about inculcating self-discipline among the individuals also.
Yeah.
There are basics which are important, and I think she is harping on that. This is really
Wonderful.
a great initiative, I feel,
Yeah.
and this is wonderful. I'm from
Thank you,
my
Rajesh. Thank you so much for this wonderful statement that empowers everybody, not just me. My wholehearted
Brajesh.
thanks to you.
Yeah, Brajesh, just tell us a little bit about yourself so that we can relate to what you are saying.
see. I'm in a corporate world. I'm nowhere related to education field.
Okay.
Actually, I work for a paper company, which is the largest paper manufacturer in the world. In
Wonderful.
India, sorry, in India.
Okay.
I work there as a senior general manager.
Wonderful.
So that's a bit brief about me. I'm in sales and marketing, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing and sharing your thoughts. Yes, anybody else?
You can keep your videos on. It is going to be live status getting live streamed on Facebook. If you're most welcome to keep your videos on and be interactive.
Yes. Yeah.
Brajesh, I would
Yes.
like to have a convo with you in the
Yeah.
meet itself,
Yeah.
and about my latest leap in corporate world, because we keep talking about the gap, as I told about, between the college and corporates. So,
Hmm.
so I'm sure whenever you talk to corporate people, they all always
Mm-hmm.
say that nowadays we are not getting people,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
college students who are well
Yes.
acquainted to
Yes.
our culture. Am I right, Brajesh,
Yes.
on that note?
No, when we go to the campuses, see, we go to recruit people. What you are saying
Yeah.
is absolutely right. I
Yeah.
recently went 2 years back to few of the campuses. We recruit people from engineering colleges. So
Yeah.
there are lot to be. I think the self-discipline is one part which people are not done. I think they
Hmm.
expect a lot of things that people will guide it. You are the master of your own destiny.
Yeah.
And what she is saying is really wonderful. If we are able
Yeah.
to drive that in between, then I really, it's a game changer actually.
Good. Good.
But
Yes.
Shilpa, actually I am rushing to catch a cab, but I was very interested to join you, so I am there as a, I'll be there in between, but I'm going to Pune right now.
Stay
Oh,
So
around. Stay around. You can
yeah,
stay
I'll be
logged
free.
in. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
precious. Your presence is precious for us. Thank you
So
for
nice.
adding.
So nice. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
So, Shipra, all of us must have seen that, meme and that, that trolling that happens, especially about students, where students sitting in class are saying, when there is a different teacher for every subject, why am I as a student taking, wanting to give marks or questions or papers on 5, 6, 7 different subjects? मैं तो बेचारा एक ही बच्चा हूँ, टीचर तो एक एक सब्जेक्ट सिखा के चली जाती है. So again, your thoughts, in olden times, and when I say 400, 500 years ago, probably we had the Gurukul system. In the Gurukul, there never was a textbook, there was a teacher. That teacher was omnipresent. He or she had that particular knowledge, and then that particular child was taught or skilled only on that subject, or probably subjects which are related, which that person wanted to become, or that person had that spark in. Today we are supposed to learn 8, 9, 10 subjects and then get marks, and then on a total basis, CBSE and ICSE students are getting 99% marks when the results are coming out. And then again, there are these jokes where my mobile phone battery also does not charge to 99%. And, students are getting
That
99%.
was really
So,
candid, my God. Yes. So,
so chal kya raha hai? What is going on?
so 99%, let me comment on that first.
Yeah.
Many people have this notion that marks बट रहे हैं.
Hmm.
ऐसा नहीं है.
Okay.
ऐसा क्यों नहीं है? I'll tell you. These children are burning the midnight oil
Yes.
because they are being groomed that way. They are being told to
Yes.
get
Yeah.
marks. They are being,
Yeah.
bolstered to that thought that they have
Yes.
to. They have to. It
Yes.
is not like it comes naturally.
Yeah.
वो मर रहे हैं, कर रहे हैं उसके पीछे. अब हो क्या
Yes.
रहा है? The bar has been raised because of the
Yes.
competitive spirit.
Uh,
So it is not like but marks but rahe hain. You'll be amazed to see these answer sheets. I'm telling you, they are like answer keys that come from board. They
yeah.
are pristine, not a single answer point, not a value point missing. आप
Yeah.
कैसे काटोगे marks?
Hmm.
Yes, teachers, what do you say? Do you agree to me? You can keep your videos on and we can have a conversation also.
Yeah.
Yes, so that is what is happening. So children are, so what my request is from everybody, let
Yeah.
them get whatever they want, but वही 98-99% वाला बच्चा अगर लाइफ
Hmm.
स्किल्स में लैक कर रहा है तो वो भी
Yeah.
तो हमारा ही सिस्टम का फेलियर है
बिल्कुल.
और बहुत बड़ा फेलियर है दे आर because of those 98, 97, 98%, they feel I'm good at that particular subject. It's not
Hmm.
like that.
Hmm.
It is definitely not like that. It
Yeah.
is the first thing. Remember our conversations about niche?
Yeah.
Yes, Payal? Do you remember? Niche. It always. So I was told by my mentors, 2 बजे अगर किसी ने उठा दिया,
Yeah.
naturally तेरा कौन सा टॉपिक है वो तेरा niche है.
बिल्कुल.
बच्चों को if you ask me, whenever I talk to children or parents, I tell them 2-3 बजे आपका बच्चा पहला सब्जेक्ट क्या पढ़ने बैठता है.
Hmm.
वो बच्चे की एक्सपर्टीज है.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
asked me about
uh, Excuse me, Shipra ma'am, can I speak something
yes,
Go
related to
ahead.
this?
Go
yes,
ahead. Yeah.
So,
most welcome.
every child, or we can take example of any person, wherever we are interested. Definitely, we would like to do that work first. If we don't have interest, we want to postpone that work. We want to do
Yes.
another work. So at that time, we
Yes.
have options. But if we like that work, any particular work where we are interested too much, definitely we would like to do that one first. And
Yes.
second thing, how do we take interest? There is a very big factor responsible for this interest because they have understood it properly. If we have a better understanding for any subject, for anything, then definitely we have interest in that. So
Yeah.
to arouse that interest, we have to make them understand any topic, any subject according to their level. If it is
Yes.
Indeed.
not according to their level, definitely it will be quite difficult. Suppose
Yeah.
children are not able to understand so much like a difficult language, or we use excellent level vocab. But first of all, let them understand what we are speaking to them.
Yeah.
If they don't understand, definitely everything will be in the air for them. So
Yes.
understanding
That is
to
a very,
adopt
very
interest
strong
in
point,
future development.
Rani.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
absolutely right.
Yes.
Because, this NLP now talks about mind over method.
Hmm.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
what teachers are still stuck with method. We talk about, we go gaga about pedagogical strategies. Bas,
Hmm.
thamba, ho gaya.
See, there should not be a limitation or confinement for them to understand. How
Wonderful.
to
Yes.
understand? We have to embrace those approaches.
Yeah.
Well said. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for adding that.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that question and just continuing on that little bit topic. And today no conversation can happen without AI coming, in the picture, AI coming into the talk. So suddenly over the past few years, everybody's talking about AI and people completing their projects using AI. One thought is, since you are an educator, the way we are outsourcing everything to AI. If I want to write a paragraph, I am asking AI. If I want to write a small message, I am asking AI. If I want to write a book, I am asking AI. There will come a time when I will lose everything of mine, which that critical thinking skill or
Yes,
design
yes,
thinking. If
sir.
if I
Yes.
outsource
Agree.
everything to AI, what will happen to people and what will happen to
Agree.
students?
Agree, sir. Agreed. Actually, everything has become a cup of tea for everyone nowadays, just
Yes,
because of AI.
yes.
Right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
just because of this AI, everyone is they don't want to exercise their brain. So, critical thinking, right? So, cognitive domain is going to uh, it means they are going to lose their critical thinking and everything related to their brain. Functioning is not right. It is not
yeah,
functioning properly just because we are getting easily each and
yeah,
everything. So if
yeah.
we have if we have such kind of easy approach, so nobody is going to do any exercise, any kind of exercise.
So
But
that is
Exactly.
where
it's not good.
teachers
It is
come in.
not good for anyone. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, Shipra.
AI can copy,
Yeah,
it cannot create.
yeah.
AI can certainly copy from entire web. आपकी क्रिएशन तो आप ही रहेगी ना.
Bilkul.
तो
But
as
we
an
should understand.
as an
But we
educator,
sorry,
as an
sorry to
educator, sorry.
sorry to interrupt, ma'am,
Yeah.
but we should understand that this AI is also created by one of us,
Yes.
right?
Correct, correct.
This is
But
also
it
created
is
by one of us.
Yeah.
she's
Shipra,
written,
मैं भी कुछ कहना चाहूंगी.
AI is being created by us, but AI cannot replace us. I'm not asking teachers to be threatened by the presence of AI.
Yeah.
You don't have to get threatened, but you have to make sure that your learning experiences are crafted,
Yeah.
keeping keeping humane touch right in the center.
Yes.
You ask a student, nothing in the world can replace your embrace and an
Yes.
educator's embrace.
Yeah.
Nothing. You still
Yeah.
ask children to close your eyes, and with the flow of your language, you just take them on the sand, on the sand particles. They actually will travel with you. Do not use smart boards, because I strongly feel, I'm sure few teachers, most of the teachers do not agree to me. In one of a mega conclave, this was a talk, and somebody said, and I completely agree to it, that smart boards are needed by teachers who are not smart. You have to have such flair of, that's where the Deepakji communication comes in.
Yeah.
Being a communication coach for students, for teachers, for corporate executives, I can tell you
Yeah.
that if you have a command over language and you
Yes.
keep mind over method,
Yeah.
children will align to you no matter what age group,
Yes.
no matter what age group follows you.
Yeah.
They will go by your way, and
Yeah.
that's important, because
Yeah.
you have to allow their imagination to stay. Remember our times, whenever we used to have a stringent meet, as as in a group of, whether it is a team building activity going on in the school, हमें इतनी हंसी आती थी कि हम पेन ड्रॉप करते थे वो उठाने के लिए, हंसी छुपाने के लिए. अभी बच्चे वो इमेजिनेशन तक पहुंचते ही नहीं है, बिकॉज आप सब कुछ दिखा रहे हो उनको
Hmm.
यूजिंग एआई. हर जगह जरूरत नहीं है सर उसकी.
Hmm.
For that, the teacher has to be smart enough how to use it to equip, to aid you, not
Yeah.
replace you.
Yes. Aditya has raised his hand. Aditya, go ahead.
Aditya, hello to see you. Very, very happy to
Hi,
see you.
hi, everyone.
Yes,
Yeah,
Aditya.
just to introduce me, just I am 23. I am a student now, but I'm looking for jobs as well. And Toastmaster Shipra knows me because we are a part of Toastmasters Club. So yeah, just to add little on the AI, in my third year of college, like we had like a project works or something. So
Mhm.
like ChatGPT was just boomed it. So just like you can create projects like 50, 100 pages in in a quick succession. So
Yeah.
the that Toastmaster Shipra said that where the AI can copy, not create. So it was like I was also too inclined to AI, so I stopped using my mind so much. And later I got to know that I'm not thinking as much as I used to.
Yes.
What I did was limited my use of AI,
Yeah.
and I have also stopped the YouTube recommendation or watching Instagram stories as such. Because because if you are watching the YouTube recommendations, you are not thinking about the video. You are just scrolling through. You subscribe to it. You are watching that only. You are not using your
Yeah.
brain. You are just
Yes.
in one direction. You are not
Yeah.
using widen use of knowledge. So that I've stopped
Yes.
and started using my brain as I used to in childhood, and that's very
Yeah.
surprising and very powerful thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Aditya, thank you so much. And Deepak ji, this is the answer to your question on entrepreneurship. Now, nobody told him. He didn't seek permission to switch his thought process.
Yeah.
It comes from within. That's
Yeah.
where I'm going wrong. So,
Yeah.
somebody acts like a mentor, somebody coaches, somebody
Yeah.
who brings that change.
Yeah.
Eric wishes to say something.
Yes, Eric, go ahead.
Yes, in fact, Shipra, I'm sorry, I'm going counter to what you said, as is my
Okay.
as is my usual
Most welcome.
way, based on my experience, and I think Deepak will agree with me. You made a comment that AI collects a lot of stuff that's already created by humans, but it cannot create. But Deepak and I have created many wonderful things, and even more. Today, you want a movie, it will create it for you. You won't even know what kind of characters it's going to create, but it'll create characters that are so good and so right based on the script. So that is one point. But my more important point is something which is out of personal experience. Let me share with you that my kids, I wanted to be the best father, put them in what I consider the best school in Bombay, and it was educated the best day school in India. It was Campion School. And by some stroke of events, I was chosen to be on the governing board, which means choosing the principal, the pedagogy, the textbooks, all of that, which you may be knowing as an educator.
Yes.
And so I was hands-on in this whole, teaching process. Though I was not one of the teachers, but I was, looking at what textbooks, how it was being done. And the time came when I got a green card and I had to choose whether to keep my kids here and finish their school here or take them to the US. And I decided very thoughtfully and with a lot of consideration, considering that I was already on the governing body of the school, and what am I doing taking them out? No. I found when I looked at it, like you said, the textbooks, they were studying the same Shah Jahan, and that whole thing, Akbar, Birbal, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb, all of that again, year after year, the same thing: sixth standard, seventh standard, eighth standard, and nothing of what is happening in the modern world, the Cold War, the Soviet Union, the blocks, and post that the split up, nothing. And unfortunately, even though we could make suggestions, the textbooks were ordered from top down. You get it? So there was nothing we could do except to give additional material. So that was one. Second thing, as you pointed out, and I like your title, which you said, Edu Catalyst. And I think that is the function of the teacher and the textbooks. They are catalysts. What a catalyst does, comes in, makes the whole equation, the whole reaction move faster and better, and then get out of the way, so that that person is there to carry on with their own thinking after having arrived at the destination that the teacher and the textbooks wanted them to get to. And then they can then move on into their specialized line. And I found that was not happening. And on the other hand, my brothers had gone before me to the US. I used to meet the kids there, their kids, my school, my kids' age, little older, and discussing with them, I found that system there. encourage a lot of discussion and debate. Here, as you said, you're being told down, talk, when to stand up, when to sit down. If you go to bathroom, of course, you have to ask for permission, but you have to ask for permission when you don't need to also, because that has become the lifestyle. So this is a question of what schools do to regiment,
Yeah.
like in the army. They want a
Yeah.
uniform product to come out, like the army does.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
they have to polish their shoes and all in the
Yes.
army, and salute when the senior person goes. All of that is a regimented thing, which is not what is a child's innate abilities and inclination, which is
Yeah.
from the childhood to ask questions. Papa, what is this? Why is the moon round? Why is this? Anything that comes to mind is
Yeah.
questionable, but not after a particular point. When they get in school, they know they have to do that. So
Yeah.
that is one thing, that there should be time allowed where creative impulses and questioning is not there in our schools at present. There is no period for that
Yeah.
sort of, what you can say, brainstorming. Let's have one
Yes.
brainstorming. Of course, I
Correct.
also mentioned what I lack in it is teaching about money, the most essential thing that bothers people and gives them depression when they leave school and go into the world outside, because they have no idea of how to function, how to handle credit cards with responsibility, all that sort of thing, which can easily be taught in the final 2 years and must be taught, but is not being taught. So these are some few of my observations. The other thing I will just passingly, again, not agreeing with what Deepak said, that in the old days we had the Gurukul and that man was a master. He was a master of one, but today's world has gone into so much complexity, detail, that you cannot say my guru was an expert in some spiritual matter or some gyan of mathematics. Now the kid has to know a lot about, maybe a little about a lot of things, but definitely a lot of things. So they have to go through the schooling process, because the school distills whatever has worked over a number of years to get them to some level in chemistry or physics, or the law of gravity essentials, which you leave them with an AI, they won't know where to look, what to prompt. So that is the function that the school does very well. But then it doesn't go beyond that. And so this is the issue, that you cannot go back to Gurukul days. You have to allow this, and you have to allow AI into the picture, but you have to teach the people how to think.
Yeah.
Essentially, Deepak also will agree with me, to teach them how to prompt. So prompt engineering is a function, and it should be a mandatory question subject in today's syllabus and thing, but
Yeah.
it doesn't happen.
I was
Sorry,
coming to
I
that,
wasted
Eric.
quite a
Correct.
bit of your time, but I hope I made
Yeah.
points.
No, it was.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you, Eric, for saying all these things. And, we could actually have another 1 hour session discussing all the points that you have raised. But let me ask Shipra this. Shipra, let me make you today the education minister for India. Today. And whatever you say today or decide will get implemented from tomorrow in all schools across India. All boards, CBSE, SSE, ICSE. Tell me those two, three, five, seven things that you would want be done right away.
237 नहीं चाहिए, एक ही चाहिए.
एक ही चाहिए. Wonderful.
Allow them to be change makers, thinkers. Coming
Yes.
to what Eric said about AI.
Yeah.
AI is creating wonderful stuff. You use the word create.
Yeah.
Yes, Eric? And the answer to that came towards the end of your talk when you said prompt engineering. Those
Hmm.
prompts are given by whom? Are
Yeah.
created by us.
Hmm.
So that is dependent on our imagination, our creativity. Today my chat gpt is so beautifully aligned to my way of communication that it
Yeah.
touches that affective domain before touching the cognitive domain. So
Hmm.
the three domains have to be aligned: कॉग्निटिव, अफेक्टिव एंड साइकोमोटर. तीनों चीजें अलाइनमेंट में कैसे होंगी? इफ
Yeah.
दैट इज डन, the mission of education is satiated, satisfied all across. Being an
Yeah.
education minister in India, oh
Yeah.
my God, Deepak ji, it is the fanciest position that I would love to have.
Yeah.
Rote learning abundant from the moment I sign that paper.
Yeah.
Because no matter what we say, for example, Eric said about uh, history textbooks.
Yeah.
I am a science person. You will be stunned to hear the examples that I'm going to give you.
Yeah.
We also studied there is a hole in ozone above Antarctica. Pehle to they have the audacity to use the word hole for
Hmm.
something which is thinning. You see, it's
Yeah.
a thinning process.
Yeah.
Ozone is thinning. So that abhi everywhere, CBSEs have schools in rural India, nooks and corners of the country. How will you make teachers understand
Hmm.
the nitty-gritties, the nuances of those concepts?
Hmm.
Point number one. Second, they are talking about, okay, where were they used? What is responsible? CFCs. Okay. Now
Yeah.
CFCs are banned today. So
Yeah.
if CFCs are banned today, then what is being used in the industries where they were used? Nobody
Yeah.
has answered that question. Or आप
Yes.
believe नहीं करेंगे, in none of the textbooks they have raised it also.
Yeah.
So it is my duty as a bio person to give them this thought. Okay, is refrigeration industry on shutdown?
Hmm.
Children will think, no, ma'am, we are still using air conditioners. We are still using, uh, uh, you know, uh, all the refrigerants are being used this way, but CFCs are not used. What is the alternative? Do you think there was an alternative? Think, and find out.
Hmm.
So there are alternatives like HCFCs and HFCs. So बच्चे कैसे सोचेंगे? अंटार्कटिका के ऊपर ओजोन थिनिंग इज अ लॉन्ग लॉस्ट प्रोसेस.
Yeah.
The kind of work that scientists are doing to actually heal that, actually
Hmm.
make sure that that is being taken care, nurtured.
Yeah.
Who's going to talk about it?
Hmm.
Nobody's doing it. So that is where teachers have to come in. I can't question the CBSE board and NCRT textbooks or whatever textbooks are being used. हम अपना
Hmm.
काम तो अच्छे से कर सकते हैं.
Correct.
उसके लिए we need to prep up, we have to be on our toes. Whoever
Hmm.
is listening to me, it is an urge for all of you to
Yeah.
join this tribe. I'm not going to die one educatalist, and I promise on Bloom platform today. I am going to create a tribe of the educatalists where people people, teachers, that will comprise of everybody who's joining this, will just look within themselves and analyze that what am I capable of? Am I
Hmm.
just saluting the textbooks or
Yeah.
prepping up my game full throttle in the class and own the room?
Yes.
That is what I'm asking for.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So, just let me carry on this conversation and talk about one of the most important parts in education, that is parenting. And, 50 years ago, when I was in school, I remember my dad sitting with me every evening, going through what was taught to us, reading from the textbooks, explaining it to me in my native language so that I understood it better, telling us stories, what they heard from their grandmothers and grandchildren and from holy texts. And we taking out time. In those days there was no TV, there was hardly any radio, and there was no Google and AI. So I don't, if I want knowledge, I have to read, I have to read the newspaper. And the staple place where I used to get my knowledge from in those days, for those who are gray haired will remember, there used to be a Bonvita book of knowledge. So all the
I
volumes of
don't have gray
Bonvita,
hair, but I
yeah.
remember.
All the volumes of Bonvita Book of Knowledge, whenever they were introduced, were read and remembered. That is how we could excel in class, how we could excel in school, and that is how we excel today in whatever we do. Reading as an art is being lost. How do you propose to change that? How do you make a student read a book and not browse through Google or through AI? How do you make reading back in vogue?
We have to take certain initiatives. First of all, coming to parents, it is a request to parents that don't stay and don't live in a guilt that I'm not being available.
Yeah.
I know we were privileged. We used to have our parents around. My mom was my class teacher in 10th standard. You'll not. So, in spite of that, those were, yes, cherished times. Those things
Yes.
had their own pros and, sorry to use the word, cons too.
Yeah.
Because, can somebody, is there a disturbance? Someone?
Yeah.
Yes. So, if the moment we stop first living in that guilt that I'm not spending enough time with my child, and coming out on focusing on the quality, okay, quality time is more important than quantity.
Okay.
Point number one. Point number two, Reading has to be emphasized by setting an example yourself. If you are
Yeah.
sitting and watching on reels, and sorry, but we all have a tendency to
Yeah.
do that, they
Yeah.
are looking at you. They may get up, and
Yes.
because we are teaching them questioning, they might stand up and
Yeah.
question you. Now you
Yeah.
must be preparing for your session. For example, it happens at
Hmm.
my place also. If I
Hmm.
am browsing through content, I am looking, they don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
You have to set up an example, maybe
Hmm.
15 minutes a day, 10
Yeah.
minutes a day. They should see you sitting with the book. And see, trust me, see, I'm staying with that book which Payal has allowed me to create. Okay, this is the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, one that is very, very important, by setting an example yourself.
Yes.
For parents, we, we were directed by our parents to do XYZ. I am
Hmm.
requesting all parents, do not write a script for your children.
Hmm.
Don't do that. They need mirrors.
Yeah.
Today, they need mirrors. Allow them to script their journey themselves. Once they take
Yes.
a call, let them follow. You just be a support system. Allow them to be the way they are.
Yeah.
Let them trip and fall. कोई बात
Yeah.
नहीं.
Yeah.
Let them trip. It is okay.
Yeah.
हम कोशिश करते हैं, हमने इतने सारे bruises हमको लगे, सो वी जस्ट पुट
Hmm.
आवर हैंड अराउंड देयर नी कि थोड़े कम लगे बस. इट इज ओके टू ऑब्जर्व.
Hmm.
यस,
I'd
दैट
like
इज मी.
to, may I give my personal experience that has worked?
यस प्लीज एरिक,
Deepak?
गो
Yeah.
अहेड.
So what Shipra said about giving an example, yes. But kids are got their own minds. They are all the time on browsing, flicking through their mobiles onto the next thing, and that is the problem. The level of attention and the span of attention has suffered. But I had a technique, or rather a trick, which I'd like to share. Because see, today with all the textbooks and all that, the factual part of it is being taken care of. It is the style of expression that you get through reading. When you read Hemingway or you read, Premchand or any whatever your specialty or whatever you like, but there is that the expression power. The world listens to people who can express themselves well. So even if you have a core knowledge base, whether it's scientific or anything or medical, your expression is going to make it. So that is the thing that where reading helps, because you're reading people who have been able to express well through their authorship of their books. What I did as a trick from a childhood, I would get them the movies on which have been based on books. So Pride and Prejudice, and there's so many of them. You could go on, and you can start very early with Hans Christian Andersen. A very funny movie with that great comedian Danny Kaye, and where he plays with words and things, and it is so full of style because of the play of words. And then you can go to other Robin Hood. There's a book, King Arthur's Round Table. It's a book. All these adventure and stuff which children like to watch. They see the movie, and then when they go older, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a little higher because that's to do with psychology. So it's for older kids. But once they see the movie and you've got the book from the library into the home, and you're seen reading a few pages and say, wow, this is good. And they start after the first 10 pages of the first chapter, they are hooked. Because that is what has made that book a bestseller and a classic over years. It has stood the test of time because it has hooked the readers with the style. So that is my two bits and a trick that I can pass on to others who want to say, I'll read, I'll show the example, but they don't give a damn. They'll really get to it because now those characters have come alive, and then they want to read the original book on which it is, and then the language comes alive for them. That's what I want to share.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. At this point, let me ask Abhijit, are you around? Okay.
I can see him there.
Yeah, but
Abhijit sir,
whether he's, yeah, okay. So let's bring in Payal. Payal, you are officially the co-host for today's meeting. What are your questions or comments you want to ask Shipra?
can't hear you, Payal.
We can't hear you, Payal. कुछ तो भी है गड़बड़.
ऑडियो कनेक्ट चेक कर लो एक बार.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, which नहीं नहीं नहीं, you're not audible, Payal. Now I think you'll be.
So let her do her thing. In the meantime, let me ask you this, Shipra. So there were these baby boomers, and then there were millennials, and then there were Gen Zs. We are now dealing with Gen Cs. This is the generation that is going to pass out in the next 5, 10, 15 years. These are the people who will, now will be the torch bearers for us for the next time to come. How are they different, and how will we be teaching them? Because every generation, when they change, we say, "Arey, this is a generation gap, and then this is a generation gap." We keep on justifying the age difference, and we keep on saying just generation gap, and we keep moving on. How will we start, first of all, teaching these Gen Zs? And is it time that we started learning from these Gen Zs?
Yes, very beautifully spoken. Last statement. We have to be modest enough to understand that there are things that they know way better than us.
Yeah.
So once you are dealing with them, or you are in the classroom becomes holistic and dynamic only once you accept that you are no more a sage on the stage. You have
Nah.
to be the guide by their side.
Yeah.
A guide by their, you have to, mind it. I met a guy a few um, weeks ago. There was a training program. Every strong statement that he was hearing, he used to capture it here. Tap the mind. Okay, I'm not going to forget this. You have to tap it here, and that way it has to be anchored. That guide by the side, guide by. मत करो उतना कि मैं जो बोल रही हूँ इतनी बड़ी अथॉरिटी हो गई वही होगा.
Hmm.
Then there is a ego which comes in. Attitude is something else. A
Yeah.
ego that I know
Yeah.
everything, that
Yeah.
will that will only vaporize you from that system.
Yeah.
And one more thing that I want to tell you, that whether you talk about Gen Z's, you have to respect their individuality.
Hmm.
Respect that. What we as adults do is blame. इनको
Yeah.
इतना exposure है, इनको ये आता है. Exposure के नाम पे, you have to be humble enough to understand
Yeah.
circle of learning will complete only when you both
Yeah.
on the poles of information
Yes.
complement each other.
Yeah.
They don't see you as a challenge, they don't see you as
Yes.
an authority, but
Yeah.
a mentor, a coach, a
Hmm.
friend. And then you
Hmm.
see the magic will happen to a level where by the end of the year you as an educator will wonder, अच्छा यार मैंने ये भी सीख लिया, मैंने ये भी.
Hmm.
So you don't have to, I've seen that in teachers.
Yeah.
The moment they are being questioned, it
Yeah.
still hits them.
Yeah.
So why? Once
Yeah.
you accept, okay, उनको आता है वो, आप
Yeah.
उनसे सीख लो. जो आपको आता
Yeah.
है आप सिखा दो. Simple.
Yeah. The person who learns the most in a training or a teaching or a coaching program is the trainer or the coach or the teacher. That is the person who learns the most. Payal,
Yeah.
we still can't hear you.
Am I audible now?
Yes,
Yes.
better now. Yeah.
Happy to have you.
Namaste. Thank you, Shipra, for being our 253rd speaker on the Bloom Talk Show. Thank
Thank
you, dear audience, for your joining us and joining and supporting Shipra, and even on Sunday afternoon. So, a quick closing round and rapid fire question for you, Shipra. One word that defines your teaching philosophy.
Dynamism.
Dynamism. Okay. Thank you. A book every educator must read.
Born to Bloom.
Yes. And your message to educators, parents, and change makers watching the Bloom Talk Show.
The future will not be built by rule followers.
Hmm.
I will speak that with folded hands.
Hmm.
For the love of sheer learning, stop asking permission. Stop
Hmm.
waiting for somebody to guide you, mentor you, tell you what is to be done. See, I
Hmm.
have a beautiful combo of audience today. There must be parents, there must be grandparents. I can see that there are teachers, there are students. I plead you, rewrite the rules.
Hmm.
Question, question, and question. And in fact, I'll conclude by saying that that's the only thing that I would want them to anchor with is you write your own journey yourself.
Hmm.
When
Hmm.
we believe in that, allow students to do that,
Yeah.
because everything will settle. Self awareness is more important than GPA.
Hmm.
That's it from my end.
Wonderful. You
Thank you.
know,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, since it is exactly 1:30 now and we'll be closing in few minutes, let me officially make this announcement. It is Payal Irani's birthday today. So
Oh, wow.
before we break, we have to sing happy birthday for her. You know,
Yes.
on her birthday at 12:30 in the afternoon on this Sunday, she's spending time with
Payal,
all of us. Yeah, so
happy birthday.
let's light that virtual
Happy
candle.
birthday to
Yes, to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy birthday.
birthday to you. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
dear
Payal.
Payal.
Yes.
Happy
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 birthday
birthday
to
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 you.
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 Payal, you didn't tell me this and you gave me this
Yeah.
slot on such a special occasion. Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah.
Party is due
Yes, we will.
and so is the hug.
Yes.
Yes.
So that we can manage with virtual hugs just now, but
Yes.
before we
Deepak
leave. Yes, please go ahead.
Ji, I also completed 75 years.
Wonderful,
Okay.
Balram sir. Wonderful, wonderful.
Congratulations.
I
Happy
met
birthday.
Eric 2 days back also.
Wow.
Yes. Eric's birthday was 2 days ago. Payal's birthday is
Arre.
today. And we have Harish sir waiting to tell us something. Harish sir.
Yes, Harish sir. So happy to have you.
Namaste, Harish sir. Welcome.
Namaste. Happy birthday, first of all, Payal.
Thank you, sir.
Shipra, you have said so much in so little time. Do you think you need to structure your talk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 1, 5, 3, 4 A, B, C? Because there's so much to give, so much to offer. Leave something for the people to ask you. When you say, this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do, I do something more in case you feel you need more, have more, get more. Would love to speak to you one to one or as
Wonderful.
a group.
Wonderful.
It's important for you to get more people because this is live recording and people will be listening to the recording later on. Give them something to look forward to by connecting with you or asking you wherever. Shipra, what do you say about this aspect of educating the child, the human mind, and the people? So give more and keep giving more. But what today you want to give, you should be prepared. I need to give them only these 3 things to remember me.
Yeah.
Got it, sir.
So, Shipra,
Wonderful.
today, what will people remember for those 3 things? I need to ask you again so that maybe at the cost of repetition, people remember these are 3 things that are focused on Shipra's mind. And this is what she keeps talking again and again and again. That's
Yes.
from my side.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Harish sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So, Deepak, sir, before you close this, let me conclude it Harish sir's way. So,
Yes.
dear friends, all those who've joined this meeting today, yes, I have said a lot, but I have a lot more on my platform. I have a site, a website, which is waiting for you to connect to me. You have a one-to-one call. My LinkedIn profile is right here. You can see that on my platform. Use your phone and connect with me on a one-to-one session. I have programs exclusively curated for parents, modules for teachers, coaching for students, and a lot more for executives as well.
Wonderful.
So, yes.
And remember these 3 things which I gave you today.
And
1, 2,
remember the 3 things. For that, will you allow me to ask my audience? Will you?
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
I want people, all those who've joined, we are 33 as of now, put that one thing that you are anchoring yourself with after today's conversation. You can put it on chat. Let me see. Yes, please. Any one thing which has anchored you. Question. Thank you. Think. How education should be. What is that one thing? Self awareness. Thank you, Ratanji. Thank you. Explore. Be open to getting fresh answers and stop stopping yourself. Transform. Motivation.
So, Shipra, now, what would you want people to remember those three lines that should conclude the session today?
Yes, Harishji. The three things that I want people to remember is you are not educating to inform, you are educating to transform. That is my first thing.
Wonderful.
Second bullet, unteach. Unteach to transform. Third, mind over method. Those three things. And I'm so happy, Harish sir, that you gave me this insight. This is my first talk show, and I can't tell you how happy I feel and humbled I feel that I am being given this opportunity to connect with all of you and learn in the process of speaking. Harishji, thank you. I bow down to the insight that you bring in to everybody whomsoever you are connected with. Thank you so much, Harishji.
So,
Wonderful.
unlearn to learn more and earn more.
Obviously, learn more, earn more, 100%.
Yes,
Wonderful. In the end, it is all about the money. Thank you,
yes.
everyone, for joining us and staying on till this late on a Sunday afternoon to listen to Shipra, the Edu Catalyst, and of course, celebrating the birthday of our very own Payal. Payal, over to you for official closing.
Thank you, Deepak sir. Thank you, Shipra, for joining us, and thank you to your audiences for removing your valuable time. Shipra, it was an honor to have you on the Bloom platform. The insights which you have shared, of course, in coming days and coming months and coming years, it will be going live. We will be uploading it on YouTube. So, whatever any random person who will come across your video will take, as research said, three pointers from you. So, thank
Thank,
you for making that change and making a difference on the Bloom platform. God bless us all.
thank you so
Wonderful.
much.
See you
Payal.
next Sunday on the 254th episode of the Sunday Bloom Talk Show.
Heartiest
God
wishes
bless.
to the Bloom world. Heartiest wishes.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.